Digital media allows you to grow a community. Do not treat digital media as an add-on. And in community, the simple meaning of community is 1 we chase 1,000, 2 we chase 10,000, right? So if you're able to develop a community there, you simply have ready-made manpower.
How has the rise in digital platforms changed the way traditional media organizations operate now in Nigeria?
With traditional media, the media houses call it the shorts. What has happened right now is digital media has helped media generally become audience-centric, not budget-centric. Not people are not going to just watch Papa Jasco because that's what's available to see at 8 p.m. every evening now. They could pop up their TV, they could go on Netflix, they could check YouTube, there's an option, meaning that if your content, if your project, if your media content is not centric to the audience, if it does not appeal to the audience, you're not going to have the attention. And people will still need what traditional media has to offer, right? Especially for the mass media, right? And they will need it for a long time. Like, we underestimate how much not everybody can afford an internet phone. We stay in Lagos and it seems like everybody you see, uses WhatsApp, but like the percentage ratio to those who don't is ridiculous within Africa, within Nigeria specifically. Now, traditional media is going to be around for a little while. Bar of entry into owning an agency is not so high. You know what? You are creative, you can write, you can get it together. But bar of entry for growth, massive growth, because now you need to own the equipment. If you can't afford to own it, you have to rent it. It costs a lot of money to rent it per day. So someone who's starting off to say, oh my God, this stuff is expensive, and all of that. I think you have to begin to think collaboration, right? And what a person has is the equipment, what the person has is the content, if you come together, it reduces the overhead cost of what they're trying to achieve, and then even potentially increases the possibility of what they're trying to achieve. I think that the way to win against this economy is to not do it alone. But we have a lot of people who want ownership, right? So you need to find people who are as weak as you are so that together you are stronger. Not people with whom you don't have so much leverage to get into a conversation with them. Be very open to collaboration. It's something I don't see a lot of. In our industry, everybody wants to own everything, everybody wants to do everything, everybody wants to own it 360 digital, everybody wants to do it all at once, but
then it gets expensive.
And then it gets expensive, intense, and difficult. And one of the things I noticed that we don't do very well in our storytelling space here in Nigeria is we don't use enough data to create. Before I create content for a market, do extensive analysis on the data and what they are watching, why they are watching, what's getting their attention. So the first thing that I would think people should pay attention to, for which we're already really strongly adopting at Red Lantern, and I see how it has massively impacted our job, is to use AI to find, adopt, and analyze data. Things that AI can do for you, it's ridiculous. Just never stop finding in what ways AI could elevate your work.